Yeah, I mean, I think I told him this last night. I didn't think we played particularly well, and that's kind of we've had a couple of games like that through the year. We didn't swing the bat great. We threw the ball pretty good. Had a couple lapses in there, but threw the ball pretty good. But man, this team just finds ways to win, and there's something to that. And I told him that after the game. I don't care. I don't care if we give up 25 runs and win. I don't care if we get no hit and somehow win. It doesn't matter as long as we're on the right side of that thing. And I think it's an unselfish group, so I think they understand that. This is baseball. Sometimes you're going to have some tough days. Sometimes you're going to have some tough stretches. And our offense has not been kind of elite in probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks at this point. But, man, they found a way to do enough. And pitchers have picked us up when they can, and the hitters have kind of got some big swings and some big spots. But just got to continue growing and fighting through that. But man, the toughness and just the winning gene, these guys have that, which is huge.
This group reached the 30-win mark last night and is now just 4 wins shy of the Tide's 2024 win total with 17 regular season games remaining. How have you seen this program evolve from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, I mean, it just you have some players come back. You got LeBron back, you got Snell back, you got Hodo back. Some guys, some younger guys that kind of have grown up. So year 2 is always, they know what to expect. I mean, these guys all took a chance on me and my staff coming in last year. They didn't know us. It's one thing I think coaches across the country will tell you what they do and who they are and all those things, but you really don't know until you spend every day with them, So I think there's just familiarity on both ends. We're now, as a coaching staff, a little more familiar with the league and a little more familiar with what to expect, week in and week out. I think our players understand what to expect from us, what we expect from them, how we want them to go about their business. So it's just been a little bit more seamless from a process standpoint. Now, last year was a solid first year. I got told 1,000 times what a great year it was, and kind of made me want to throw up in my mouth because I didn't think we were very good last year. But it's a good sign. It means we're building something and continue getting better. But been really happy with the way the guys approach it. And I think we'll stay off of all the minutia of this until the season's over, and then I think you can kind of look back on what was, on the good, the bad, the indifferent. But I'm proud of how this group has shown up. They've shown up every day. We have not had the day all year, and I've had this with tons of teams, but we have not had the day where the guys just didn't show up. We've come out and get our tails kicked. That's happened. We've come out and played really good, but we haven't not been there mentally and focused-wise, and that's what I think I respect most about these kids so far.
The Tide is 26-0 and leading after 6 innings this season. Can you talk about the Alabama bullpen and how important that group has been?
The bullpen's been outstanding, and I think when you look at games, what you see is you hope you get to a point in the game where you can go to your higher leverage guys, because every staff has that. You have some young players or some guys with some stuff that maybe aren't as consistent yet, and then you kind of have your leverage arms. And so I think if we feel pretty good if we can get the game to a point where we're either tied or ahead in those late inning situations and go to our higher leverage guys, we've been really successful, because I think there's some different looks. You have Colson Buchanan, who's just had a monster last year for us, and just really happy for him and the work he's put in for that. But Buck's been great. Matty Heiberg has been great. Braylon Myers has been great. JT Blackwood in kind of those extended situations has been great. And then our closer, Carson Osborne's just been a superstar. We feel like when we toss him the baseball, he's going to find a way to get it done. And so that back half has been awesome. They've done a great job with that side of it. And we just got to continue getting to that point. Some of the best teams, I remember the Royals, and I think it was maybe 2015 is when they made their World Series run, whenever that was. You felt like if you got to the 6th inning with the lead, the game was over. They could just shorten the game with what they had 7, 8, 9. And so I think we have some options to play with like that when we can get to the right side of it. We just got to continue offensively and starting pitching-wise, putting them in a position to get those higher leverage guys in the game.
Last night's win improved Alabama to 16-1 when hitting 2 or more home runs. How important is the long ball to this team's success?
Yeah, I think it's huge in college baseball, especially against really good arms. I think, you have all the old school baseball people that want everybody to hit 330 and this and that. But man, when you look at, like, let's use last weekend at Mississippi State as an example, like that's an elite pitching staff they had. They didn't get a ton of hits on us either. Even say Friday night. Friday night was kind of weird, but they didn't get a ton of hits. The difference in the game is in the series was really they hit 7 homers on the weekend. We hit 1. So when hits are coming at a premium and there's not going to be a ton of just hit, doubles and homers are how you score, and against the high leverage arms, that's what you got to be able to do. And, last night you saw that. Last night when they're bringing a new guy at every inning, that's just really tough on an offense because you never see a guy a second time. You never get any feedback there. But the difference in the game was a couple homers, and so slugging the baseball, there's no doubt it equates to more runs. And so I think Mississippi State outslugged us this weekend, which is why you saw them on the right end of it. And then we were able to outslug UAB last night. So that's going to forever be a big piece of baseball. I think, like I said, when you've got these young kids throwing the ball 98 miles an hour with really good breaking balls and the ability to pitch, it's going to be really hard to line up and get 4, 5, 6 hits in an inning. So you got to be able to kind of take advantage, get some freebies, find a way on base, whether it's a hit by pitch or a walk, and then line up and go split a gap and hit a homer. That's how you score.
The Tide is headed into the home stretch of the regular season, including the beginning of tomorrow's weekend set at 9th-ranked LSU. What would be your message to the team heading into the series with the Tigers?
Yeah, I think you get to the point of the year. Our guys have done such a good job for the most part this year, staying off all the outside stuff. The rankings, what people are saying, good or bad, because that's the nature of this. When you win a game, they think you're the best team ever. When you lose a game, it's like these guys all stink. They're not any good. And that's just the nature of being an athlete on the stage that these guys are on. So they've done a good job of just kind of pushing that to a side. But I think now that you're 5 weeks out, you do start looking at those things a little bit more. It's a little bit harder to tune them out. Man, if we do this, if we do that, if we can win here, if we can do that, we can play here in June, we can host a regional, we can host a super. All of these things that all they are is a distraction from the job at hand. Because, yes, 5 weeks doesn't seem like that long, and it'll go by quick. But at the end of the day, 17 games is a lot of baseball left. Like, people don't remember. They will not remember the start of this thing and having the best start in school history and all of these things if we don't finish well. That's all that matters. So we've got to do a good job of blocking all that out. And we're going into one of the most hostile environments in college baseball this weekend, and we're doing it on short rest on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So my message to our guys is, man, like I told them after the game yesterday, fortune favors the bold. Like, we're going to go in there, and I can't guarantee you what's going to happen, but we're going to go in there and send it. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to play aggressively. We're going to coach aggressively, and we're going to try to put them on their heels, because that's what they do such a good job of in that stadium is they bully people when they come into the box, and we can't let them do that to us. So we're going to go send it for 3 games down there, and win, lose, or draw, we'll come back, and we still got a lot of season left. So we're going to set it up and just try to play it a game at a time here to get us to a point where when we do look up on Memorial Day weekend, we'll be happy with the results.
And before y'all head off, do you want to say anything to the fans?
No, just keep coming, man. Keep sticking with us. I think that's the big thing. We've shown up in numbers this year, which has been great. And we have 2 huge weekends left. We got Missouri at home, and we've got Georgia at home. So 2 really big weekends left that we need them to continue showing up, and just challenge them to, man, make a difference. I think there's times it's one thing to come to the game. It's another thing to come to the game and create some atmosphere and create some intensity and to do things. And we have a group of students on that wall that every time we get to 2 strikes, it doesn't matter if it's Mississippi State, if it's UAB, if it's Alabama State, they are into it. They're banging on the wall. They're rowdy as can be out there. And the more we can continue facilitating that with the 5,000 people that roll in here, the harder and harder this place is going to get to play. So keep showing up. We got 6 games left at home, so keep sending it.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.